Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Oversharing Mom. Today it's just me without Romana because she's busy being pregnant and all. So my name is Sasha, and on this channel we talk all things conception, pregnancy, birth, babies, all those kind of things. As you've seen, we've done quite a few videos on fertility. We have an amazing freebie that you can look at where we explore various ways to help with fertility. Um, and in general, what I've realized today, I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite books at the moment, which is called "It's Okay Not to Share." And I love this book because it's making me think about childcare in a different way. It makes me think about children in a different way. It makes me understand my child a little bit better. And there are certain concepts that basically I wish I knew before having a child. It's like nobody tells you, nobody quite prepares you for it. And I mean, that's really the reason why Romana and I have started this channel, because we were both kind of calling each other at various stages of our child development and just saying, oh my God, what do you do? What's happening? So we just wanted to share our experiences, but we keep on learning and we keep on studying really to be able to not just share our experiences but to really provide useful and great information for you. If you're new to our channel, then please like and subscribe. That really helps us out. And so today I wanted to talk to you this whole sharing concept. If your child is going to the nursery or starts encountering social situations, and even at home if there are siblings, we keep on saying, you have to share all these things. What we don't realize is that we're taking control away from the child, and actually we are not allowing for the child to kind of negotiate and learn those kind of social skills um, where they can still keep something and then explain that they are playing and then learn, and it's not necessarily sharing. So I think there is this idea that we have to share, and I really love this idea in the book where they say, well, if you have your handbag with you and you have your gloves, your wallet, etc., how okay would you be even if your friend just went into your handbag and started taking stuff out? Like, we're really possessive over our things, we really don't want to share, and we say, oh, this is mine. However, we seem to have a problem if somebody wants to take our stuff, and yet we don't seem to understand that there is this very similar situation for our child. So it might seem like a toy, it might seem insignificant to us. It's only because, what do we attach importance to? But in the child's world, their toy could be something really special, really important to them. And so another concept that I really love is that you have to allow your child to be selfish in order to then be generous and kind, and to arrive to that point of sharing, if you like, then forcing them. Because if we do, we are creating actually an insecurity. So what happens is we're saying that things can be taken from you forcefully, and therefore when you grow up you can take things forcefully. We're also saying that if you're playing with something and you're really enjoying it, then it might end suddenly, and so there is this expectation, if I'm enjoying my time playing, then there are all these little patterns that start being created in the brain, and on these kind of associations, these little triggers. And so actually, if we allow our child to be selfish, and one of the examples is, it can be anything. Of course, we have to explain if there are siblings and they have to take turns, that's different. Sharing and taking turns is slightly different, and there are all these distinctions. And I know sometimes it might seem like it's quite minute, but actually it's extremely important. One of the examples is, if a child even gets like an acorn or something, a stone even, or whatever, if there is a significance attached to it for the child, it's important to just let them have it. Even if there are siblings, this is just theirs. It's also important from the point of view of them having this control. And we might think, oh, so why is that so important? Well, actually, it's linked to them growing up being actually rather secure and confident. And because this control, it starts even with them learning to go to the toilet and to be able to control their bodily functions. They're starting to understand, oh, actually, it is up to me. I can hold it a little bit longer. And so it's one of those key moments when they start to realize that actually they can control their own bodies, they can control the environment, and it's not necessarily that they need to control it as it sounds, a bit aggressive or whatever. It's more about the fact that they feel in control of their own environment. So it's them creating their own kind of sense of security. And this is also leads on to why routines are so important. So there needs to be this balance where there is enough freedom for creativity and for them to really explore and learn things. And what I am learning, because at first I think I gave too much freedom. And so one might say that what I've experienced, like well, from the outside you could say, oh, he's a bit spoiled. So that's kind of like the perception. But what I realized is I was lacking kind of boundaries. And so one other thing that I've learned is that it's important to have rules in the house, but only the main rules. So again, there is just enough framework to make it secure and clear. Like, for example, it is not okay to hurt people, it is not okay to damage property, but anything else, we can talk about, we can explore, and that sort of thing. And so the way to enforce it, the way to talk to a child, I mean, there are just so many aspects. But the main thing, really, starting with the sharing, what I wanted to achieve in this video is just really to give an idea that it's okay. Like, if we stop enforcing this idea that kids just need to share everything, let them try and negotiate, teach them speech, teach them communication, so that when a child wants to play with something that maybe before he would have just grabbed from another child, he would say, oh, are you finished with this? May I have a turn? To play with something. Or if they do treasure something like a stone or an acorn or even a particular toy, it can be just theirs. It can be just something that they can be selfish with. And then you will see that naturally, as as we allow them to be selfish, they will then, start sharing on their own accord without being forced. They will arrive to a point where, it's okay to share because they've been allowed to keep it, because they're in control, because they're allowed to have that, space, that security, and that control over their toys or situation, etc. So I'm finding that with every stage, there is this new thing that we have to learn. There is something new that your child teaches you, and that's another thing. If we try to see them as our teachers rather than us being their teachers, we think we know better, but actually, each child is so unique, so interesting, and they have this new perspective on life. And my child surprises me every day. And now the more he's talking and the more he's communicating is just really quite remarkable. In another video, I really want to talk about one other technique that I've learned about these emotions, because kids feel so many emotions, and just generally all these techniques that I find really useful. And if you have any questions, or if you have your own experience, and how did you approach these kind of situations when your child didn't want to share, do you find yourself conforming and or agreeing with the nursery staff or with your friends or whatever? If they say you have to share, is that your belief, or is what I'm saying making sense? Well, we would love to hear from you anyway. So ask us questions or share with us your experiences. And so, yeah, we'll keep on talking about all things conception. And next week it will either be myself or Romana, or maybe the two of us. So it's a bit difficult to find the time to film together, but we'll certainly make the effort and see what other amazing content we can create for you. But thank you for joining us, and we'll speak to you next week.